How to live below your means, y'all. A lot of us, like I said, stretch too thin. You buying too much. You have way too many bills. You need to downsize your life. You need to start living below your means because it's just not healthy to be stretched so thin. A lot of us are stretched way too thin. You're not able to put any money aside for your future. You know, living right now is important, but you're not able to put any money aside to your future. Having a savings account, having an emergency fund. You're just spending it all. You're spending way too much. And a lot of us are living above our means. Let's be real. Above our means. We just making it. Living paycheck to paycheck. Because of the amount of stuff you have on your credit card that you got to pay back each month. Your student loans. Because of that, y'all, we need to start living below our means. And we going to get that today from Clever Girl Finances, you know. And that's not only for clever women. This can be for clever men too. It's money. It's money. Let's be real. So Clever Girl Finances is going to give us some help and some tips on how to live below your means. Let's get into it.
So do you earn a good income but find yourself living paycheck to paycheck? Or do you find yourself overspending or taking on unnecessary debts even though you have a good income? What are your biggest concerns about your spending? Well, if you have any of these questions in your mind, this video is for you. I'm going to be talking about how to start living below your means to achieve your financial goals. Keep watching. Hi everyone, my name is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance. I'm also the author of the Clever Girl Finance book series and my most recent book, Choosing to Prosper. Welcome to Clever Girl Finance TV.
Live below your means, y'all.
In today's video, we're going to talk about how to create a financial plan for yourself to help you start living below your means, especially if you find yourself in that place where you're earning a good income, but your money still finds ways to slip through your fingers. So we're going to start by looking at how you currently spend your money. There are some key indicators that will let you know that you are living well above your means, and the sooner you're able to identify these key indicators in your life, the quicker you're able to create your plan to help you start living below your means. So some signs that you are living above your means despite earning a good income include: number one, you don't have an emergency savings fund. Number two, you have credit card debt. Number three, you're not saving at least 10% of your income. Number four, you're purchasing big ticket items despite your finances. Number five, you're paying for expensive vacations you didn't plan for. If you can relate to any of these indicators, I'm going to be sharing some key tips to help you get past them and start living below your means and also saving more money.
Let's go back and let's see who this for.
Number five, you're paying for expensive vacations you didn't plan for.
You don't have an emergency fund. Number one, you living above your means. You do not have an emergency fund. Right now, like I said, I'm paying off debt. I have a $2,000, $2,500 emergency fund right now. Of course, I want that to expand once I get out of debt. That's something else. You have credit card debt. You charging everything to the card. You definitely living above your means. You know, you don't really got it, but you're going to spend it. You're not saving at least 10% of your income. Like I say all the time, that should come first. 10% of your income should come first. You're purchasing big ticket items despite your finances. I know a lot of y'all put that Beyonce tour on credit cards in credit debt to go see Beyonce. And you're paying for expensive vacations you didn't plan for. The most craziest thing to me is spontaneous vacations. Oh yeah, let me just go on vacation. And what you gonna do? Charge it to that credit card. Hey, number two for sure. All these things, these are just some of the things, you know. The main one, big ticket items despite your finances.
If you can relate to any of these indicators, I'm going to be sharing some key tips to help you get past them and start living below your means and also saving more money. So step one, you want to assess your financial situation. You essentially want to determine where do you stand right now when it comes to your finances. Where is your money going? And you want to look at your bank statements, your credit card statements over the last 3 to 6 months to get a good idea of where your money is going. Where are you spending this money? Even those small expenses, you want to pay attention to them. So the first thing you want to do is get clear on your current situation by determining where your money is going, highlighting those key expenses, and then determining your income and comparing your income to those expenses. A lot of people think they know what they earn, but they actually don't know because they haven't paid attention to that full number. They're basing it on their annual salary before taxes come out, right? So how much do you really earn after taxes on an annual basis? How much do you really earn after taxes when you get paid each month or every 2 weeks? Or if you have an inconsistent income, what is the average income that you earn after you've put aside your expenses? You want to be aware of this. You want to compare your income to your expenses and determine how much of your expenses are going over your income, right? How much are you spending beyond your income? Once you've done this assessment to see where your money is going and how much you are overspending by, then you're ready for step number 2. Step number 2 is to create a budget. This is essential to being able to live below your means. And when you create your budget, you want to break your budget into categories. For example, you can have a category in your budget for your future self where you're saving for retirement. You have your debt payoff goals in there as well. You need a category for your essentials. These are the things that are essential for you to live your life. You may have a category for your life goals. So these are the things that you want to achieve outside of saving for your future self. And then you can also have a category for everything else where you pay attention to what you're spending, whether it's eating out, traveling, shopping, etc., so that you're not spending beyond your means. And this category will help you stay in check. So it's important that you lay out a budget now based on your income and based on your expenses. And as you lay out your budget, you might find opportunities to cut things out because you realize that, wait a minute, I did my spending assessment and I realized I actually don't need to spend money on these things anymore, or I can temporarily cut back from spending money on these things. So it's really important that once you do that assessment, that you then sit down and create a budget. And there are many different budgeting methods. It's all about finding a budget method that works for you. So some budgeting methods include the cash envelope system.
Before she go into some budgeting methods, y'all, I wanted to combine that step 1 and 2 together, because creating a budget, really assessing and creating a budget is like all one step. You do that all together. Like, you wouldn't assess and get it. You would do that all together. While you assessing, you writing it down. Okay, this is how much money I make. I spend my money here. I spend my money here. Spend my money here. Spend my money here. You writing that down, and then once you see, oh, I'm over leveraged right now. I'm over leveraged. Then you find places to save. That's when you bring in some of these budgeting, tips, or per se, or budgeting methods. Okay, so I'm a budget like this. I'm a budget like that. That's as soon as you asset, though. Then you know how much money you make. And it's crazy. Some of y'all don't, when it comes to assessing, some of y'all don't know how much money you make per week, per 2 weeks, per month. That's crazy to me. Y'all don't actually look at that. I believe some of y'all don't. I believe some of y'all don't. Some of y'all don't even know taxes get took out. Some of y'all don't even know taxes is getting took out. And that check that you get during tax season is your money. I'm telling y'all, I don't think I would want a big tax bill coming back to me. That's crazy. That means the government done took a lot from you. They giving it back interest free. Let you take some money from the government. I bet you got to pay them back in interest. But they won't pay you. But that's besides the fact. The fact that we don't know how much money we're spending. We don't know how much money we're making. Y'all don't know any of that. You just living day to day, clueless. You need to make sure that you are assessing your money and that you have a budget that you follow. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. One thing I am mad about, Mint is no longer around. I used to advise people, go to Mint. I'm still trying to find one that at least was free. I might have to go with Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar and go ahead and Hey, spend money to save some money. But yeah, because I have a budget on his app, but I like to automate my budget. And to automate your budget on his app, you got to pay a little bit extra, you know. I might have to just go ahead and pay that because Mint has been not around for like a month now. I feel like I'm a chicken with my head cut off. I mean, I know where my money's going, kind of, but I can't get those exact down to the cent dollars is what I want to see. That's what I want to see with my budget. And that's how I make my budget, down to the last cent. Okay, I know this going there, I know this going there. Oh, okay, I got some floating money. This can go to my vacation fund. That's what a budget allows me to do. It allows me to feel like I have financial freedom in a sense because I just know where all my money's going. I'm not guessing. Oh, do I have enough money for this? I know. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. You want to go out to the club and get a section? How much? Oh, you want to split the section? About $100 each. Do I want to use that in my Get Lit fund? My fun money? Do I want to spend that all in 1 week? That means next week, I got this plan, I got that plan. Nah, bro. I can't do it this week. I can't do it this week. That's the type of freedom I have. I automatically know. And then it allows me to say yes. Oh, I know I had this much money in my savings for this. My budget say I got this much to spend. Yeah, bro, let's go. Let's go. Let's have a good time. I feel like it frees me up. So let's get these methods out the way.
Zero-based budgeting, percentage-based budgeting, or using an app or spreadsheet. And you can stop by clevergirlfinance.com. We have tons of articles on all these different budgeting methods. We also have several free budgeting worksheets in our worksheet library that you can find on our website. And then if you feel more comfortable budgeting with an app, go to your smartphone's app store and download a bunch of budgeting apps and then go through them. Take some time to go through them to see which of them you prefer to use and will work best for your lifestyle. The key to successful budgeting after you've built your budget is checking in and finding a budgeting method that you enjoy using so that you can check in often. And then step number 3 is to create a financial plan. So you know where your money is going, you know how you're spending your money, you've created a budget to help you keep your spending below your income, but now you want to create a financial plan, a plan of your long-term and your short-term goals that you want to achieve in your life. This is really important to have. This is also tied to your purpose and your fulfillment. And so your financial plan will include things like your goals, your debt payoff plan, your emergency savings plan, your investment plans, and even an estate plan. This is essentially your overall plan to achieve financial wellness for yourself, starting with those short-term, mid-term, and then your long-term goals. You can use financial planning apps or templates or worksheets. Like I mentioned, we have over 40 plus free worksheets on clevergirlfinance.com. It doesn't matter what tool you use to set up your financial plan. It can be a simple spreadsheet or Word document, but it is essential that you lay it out so you know what goals you're going to be pursuing and you know why you want to stay motivated and inspired to work your plan and live below your means. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I would love for you to hit the like button below and subscribe to this channel, and then tell all your best girlfriends about Clever Girl Finance. Then stop by our website at clevergirlfinance.com. We have over 30 plus completely free courses, over 40 plus completely free worksheets like I mentioned, and our blog gets updated every single day. And you can also tune into the Clever Girls Know podcast everywhere you listen to your podcast episodes. Okay, let's get back to this video on living below your means.
All right, y'all. Step number 3. Step number 3 was create a financial plan. This is your guide to budgeting. What are you budgeting for? Why are you budgeting? What goals do you want to meet? What do you want to do with your money? Now that you have the freedom to decide because you have a budget what you want to do with your money, you need to make that plan as well. What do you want to do with your money? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to save for an emergency fund? Do you want to save up for a down payment on a home? Are you saving for this vacation? Are you saving for that clothes? You know, oh, I want these shoes. Let me put that in my budget as a short-term goal to save up this amount of money. That way, when it comes, I don't have to put it on my credit card. which I might not pay off, and now I'm paying 36% on top of already what I had to pay for the shoes. What is your plan for your money? That budget frees you to now create a current for your money. You creating the river for your money. You're telling your money which way to go. That's the freedom that you have with a budget. That's the freedom that you have after you assess where your money's going. I'm telling y'all, it's all about having freedom at that point. And that's why, honestly, I love my budget. Like I said, I haven't had a budget for 1 month, and now my head's cut off. And after this, I'm gonna have to go buy every dollar, because I like to automate my life and just have things going quick. That way I can check it every day. I can check on my app every day how much I done spent real quick. Okay, done for the day. I know where I'm at with my goals. Done for the day. I know I'm trying to spend this much money on paying off my student loans this month. I know this vacation coming up. Let me put this money to the side so that I can have a good time on that vacation, instead of being one of those friends that ain't got no money on the vacation, and now the whole group looking like, man, what you come for? Alright. We won't go on the excursion. We'll just hang out at the hotel. You don't want to be that friend. You don't want to be boring friend, because you ain't got it. Because you ain't got no budget, so you didn't save correctly for this trip. You should have said no to coming to the trip anyway, because you was over leveraged. But now you boring friend, and the one that everybody gonna talk about. Hey, get you that budget. Create that financial plan. That way that doesn't happen. That way you can start putting money to your retirement, to your future. 10% up first too.
And then step number 4 is to curb your spending. And so this is now an intentional act you're going to take, an intentional action you're going to take to minimize how much you're spending, especially in unnecessary areas, so that you can get to the point where you're living below your means. And one way to do this is with a spending journal. And you can do this for a couple of weeks or for a month, where you have this journal, whether a physical book or the notes app in your smartphone, and you write down what you're spending every single day. And in addition, you write down where your mind was at, what your mindset was, how you were feeling when you were making that transaction, especially ones that are not tied to your essentials. And at the end of the night, you want to review your spending. This just helps you be mindful of what you're spending money on and helps you make better choices the next day. So you want to be intentionally focused on cutting down on your spending. Maybe you're spending too much money shopping or eating out or at your coffee store. Whatever you're doing that you find is excessive, that is causing you to live above your means, you want to be intentional about catching yourself in those moments so that you can adjust that choice and make a better choice so that you can start living below your means.
I tell people to do that, what she said, at the end of a month. At the end of a month is when you should do that. Because live normal for that 1 month before you start curbing your spending. Or you could have done this actually when you were assessing what you spent it on from the month before. But let a month go by or whatever, and then look. That way now you can see, oh snap, I spent $200 on Chick-fil-A last month. Can't believe this. I spent $200 on Chick-fil-A? Dang. I spent $500 on clothes last month. I need them clothes. I think I could have saved right there. I could have saved in that area. Or one of my favorite ones is the Get Lit fund, where everybody feel like you need so much money for it. This is the reason why. I spent how much on smoking and drinking last month? This happened. Stephen, college. I spent how much? What? Oh, something has got to change. That was the best one for me right there. I spent how much? Oh, nah. something has got to give. And I'm out here kind of struggling, but I spent my money on this. That's the big one for me. That's the big one for me right there. When you're able to find out where you can curb your spending at, that's a big one. That's when you really feel that freedom from your budget. Ain't no way I'm spending all my money on this stuff. But when you start seeing it, is when you start realizing, okay, the path I've been going down is not the path I want to go down. But you got to see it to believe it first. You got to see it to believe it. And once you see it, once you do that one exercise, it'll really change your whole thought process.
Number 5, consider living frugally. And one thing I want to say about living frugally is that it's not about being cheap. It's about looking at a new way of life that allows you to save money. That is what being frugal is about. You can still have quality, great items, make quality purchases, but instead you're focusing on how can I save? Where can I cut back? What is worth it and what is not? And so living frugally is one way that you can focus on living below your means. So for example, instead of always buying brand new clothes, you might decide to focus on making a list of things that you need that are missing in your wardrobe, for example, if you do need to shop, and then looking at the pre-owned market for high quality items. A lot of times you're going to find brand new items from brands that you love, but at an incredible discount because they are considered pre-owned. And so you want to explore options in which you can save by living frugally. Another example of living frugally is looking at coupons, finding coupons online, or browsing your grocery store's website or app before you plan your grocery shopping so that you know where you can save, right? You're still buying the same groceries, the same brand names that you like, but now you're getting a discount because you intentionally went out and found some coupons to help you save on that grocery bill. And then
step 5 was living frugally. Living frugal. The thing about living frugal, when people hear that, it's always negative associated with it. It's always negative associated with it. To me, it's learning how to say no to certain things, though. Learning to say no to certain things is living frugal. You don't have to, you don't have to get cheap items and do all of that. Living frugally to me can also mean getting something that will last you longer. Because, yeah, you can get some cheap underwear, but if you got to buy underwear every 2 months, then what? You buy a cheap shirt, you can only wear it 2 times before it's messed up. In the end, you're going to be spending more money on that. It's really being more conscious about the items that you purchase, to me, is what being frugal is. Being conscious about the items that you purchase is what being frugal is. It's not about living the hermit life, trying to get all the cheapest items that you can. It's not about that. And that's the negative connotation that comes with it. He cheap. He cheap. He ain't gonna spend no money. It's not about that. Living frugal is learning how to say no to certain things, yes. And saying yes to other things that's gonna make your life a little better. That to me is what living frugal, living below your means. That's what it's saying. And let's get on step number 6.
And step number 6, you want to focus on improving your money mindset. And this basically means that as opposed to thinking of living below your means as a restriction, think about it as a pathway to your financial wellness. Think about it as a pathway to being able to improve your life. You want to think positively about your finances and your goals and empower yourself with words and affirmations that make you know that you are able to achieve what you have set yourself up to achieve. You don't want to dwell on the past or past mistakes and start to feel regretful and discourage yourself from even taking action because you have made mistakes. Instead, take a look at your past, assess the lessons from those mistakes, and then let it go and apply those lessons to your future. And so it's really important that you have that positive money mindset where you think positively about your finances, even if you are in the process of paying off debt, even if you're in the process of living below your means, even if you're in the process of rebuilding your emergency savings. Think positively about your finances, and this will keep you inspired and motivated to keep moving forward. And then number 7.
Number 6, your money mindset. Definitely important. The way you think about money should change. The way we think about money definitely should change, especially financial literacy. A lot of people, they see financial literacy as a negative because they feel like you're restricted in the way that you spend your money now. Like I said, since I've had it, I feel freed. I don't stress about am I able to pay my bills each month like a lot of y'all. I'm not stressed about that. I just don't stress because my finances are set up in a way I'm not worried. I don't worry about paying credit card debt every month because my budget isn't set up in that way. I don't think to use money that way. At least with the credit cards, going into debt on a credit card, boy. Especially if you at 36%, boy, you really get knocked across the head. I'm not over leveraged in bills. I'm not over leveraged in debt. And that all just comes from the way that I think about money, the way that I handle my money. Get you some books. Richest Man in Babylon. Money Mindset. That's actually the name of a book. Money Mindset. The Psychology of Money. Do your research.
Step 7 is find ways to make extra money. And so when you're in this space where you're trying to live below your means, you may find that, okay, you have cut back as much as you can cut back, but your expenses still happen to be high and you can't adjust them right away. For example, you may be tied to an expensive mortgage or rental lease that you cannot break immediately. And so this might be one of the hindrances causing you not to be able to live below your means right away. And so one way you can get past this is by making additional money, bringing in extra income. This means being intentional about perhaps asking for a raise at work, finding a part-time job, starting a side hustle, selling things in your kitchen, in your closet, your kids' items that you no longer need or like or want to bring in extra income that you can put towards helping you live below your means. When you have that extra money to spare, it helps you be at peace because you now have this buffer, you now have this additional income that you can put towards even things like saving and investment as you focus on living below your means. And then step number 8.
I have one, y'all. Going back to school to get a degree that actually will make you more money. Go back to school and get a degree that will actually make you more money. Go back to school and get a trade that will actually make you more money. All the above. Go get some education somewhere else than where you're at. Especially if you can't live above your means. Go get a career that will actually help you make that money overall. Instead of killing yourself working all these jobs for the rest of your life because you have a certain lifestyle that you're trying to uphold. Go make some more money overall.
Number 8, utilize financial courses and resources. So when you decide that you're ready to make a change with your finances, you're ready to become more focused and intentional about how you're spending your money so you can live below your means, it can feel overwhelming because you're making all this change, and you can also feel really uncomfortable because it's not what you're used to doing. You're used to just spending and spending, and so you want to leverage resources. Like I mentioned, we have the Clever Girl Finance platform. We have tons of videos here on YouTube that you can reference to help you stay motivated and keep your mind on track. You can take one of our 30+ free courses. You can.
All right, y'all. Step number 8, utilize financial resources. Go get a book. Go get a book. Like she said, use YouTube. Go get a mentor. It's a lot of things that you can do. Go take a course. It's a lot of things that you can do with utilizing financial resources. Like I said, I gave books, The Richest Man in Babylon, Money Mindset, The Psychology of Money, all that stuff. You know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of the biggest ones that everyone just knows. Apps I used to love Mint so bad, y'all, but I'm gonna have to move to EveryDollar because I like to automate. I like to automate my budget. I don't like to have to write down every budget and do all that. It's just too. And once it's automated, it comes straight from my bank account. Okay, you spent it on this. Categorize that thing into the right budget. Done. Definitely utilize your financial resources. It'll help you change your whole mindset. Help you going down the right path. Help you create a plan for your money. A vision for your finances. All that stuff. Well, if you still with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I hope y'all do got a budget, y'all. The biggest thing I could tell anybody, especially for a beginner, is just start budgeting so you can see where your money is going. Gosh, Lee. There's too many of us just out here willy-nilly spending money. Don't know anything about where your money going. If I can give the biggest thing right now for young people is just start budgeting. Your whole aspect of how you spend your money will definitely just change just because you see it all the time. Again, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment.